Hey guys, this is Peter the Warner Brothers Universal and Paramount fan 2002 here once again, and today's review will be on the 1989 Fox show, and that one is The Simpsons. Wow! How I remember these guys when I watched that show. The show started airing in 1989 since its first episode. The show was based on The Simpsons shorts from the Tracey Ullman Show by Matt Groening, which he's known as the creator. The show was originally and currently airing on Fox, FXX, Freeform, CTV Comedy Channel, Global Television Network, CityTV, CBC, Teletoon, currently known as Cartoon Network in Canada, Sky One, Channel 4, BBC One, BBC Two, 4/7, Sky Showcase in the United Kingdom and Ireland, 10 Beach, Network 10, 7 Network, 7/2, 7 Mate and 7 Flicks in Australia. And currently streaming on Disney+. The show involves the same characters from the shorts of the Tracey Ullman Show, the Simpsons family, and they go on amazing adventures. First thing we have is Homer Simpson. He is one of the most iconic cartoon characters ever created, apart from iconic characters like Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, and SpongeBob SquarePants. He is also possibly one of the most famous fictional characters out there. He is one of the biggest adult cartoon icons in history. His iconic quote though, which was so popular that it actually became a word in the dictionary, is an exclamation to express dismay of realizing that one's actions seem stupid or when something has gone wrong. His famous obsession with donuts is timeless and funny. He is an extremely caring and loving man when he needs to be, like when he stood up for Ned Flanders. Now that's something to show Ned respect for a change. Despite his often simple and goofy demeanor, Homer is a complex character with depth. He exhibits a range of emotions and experiences personal growth throughout the series. He can be selfish and lazy, but he also displays moments of genuine love, concern, and vulnerability, making him relatable and multi-dimensional. Homer's moments of stupidity and accident-prone clumsiness were always done hilariously, and in spite of Homer's foolish and comical demeanor, on the intelligence front, when properly motivated or passionate about something, he can be very efficient. Across various episodes, he's become a top employee for Globex, started a very successful home security business, and was able to trick Mr. Burns into making him CEO of the power plant, which he did in revenge for his rather comprehensive safety report being ignored. Homer can be incredibly intelligent when in various episodes he speaks several languages, is a Grammy Award-winning songwriter and musician, a skilled poker player, a master marksman, and may know a bit of astrophysics. He's also juggled many careers with varying degrees of success, pulled off a scheme to trick Mr. Burns into making him CEO of the power plant, and formed a security company so successful and efficient that Quimby appointed him chief of police and fired Wim. The episode Homer reveals he has a crayon stuck up his nose that limits his brain functionality, but when he has it temporarily removed his IQ jumps 50 points and he realizes his full potential, before having it put back at the end of the episode. With that said, he can be a great husband and father at times. He has accomplished some great feats. For example, he once started a buddy cop relationship with Ned Flanders, which is badass. He was in a great band when he was younger. His mean-spirited nature can be hilarious, especially when he strangles Bart. Despite promoting child abuse, and even in the Tracey Ullman Show shorts, and also in the first season, he got upset when he made his first enemy, showing that he does not want to hold grudges with anyone. He has had many memorable and hilarious forms of chemistry with Flanders, despite Homer belittling him most of the time. Mr. Burns, despite how deceptive he is, and even his own brain, Homer's character can adapt to a wide range of storylines and situations, from heartwarming family moments to absurd, surreal adventures. This versatility allows the show's creators to explore various themes and genres. Homer has had a significant impact on popular culture, appearing in various forms of media, from video games to merchandise. He has become an iconic character in the world of animation. Homer's character serves as a vehicle for commentary on issues like consumerism, religion, politics, and the American dream. His experiences and reactions reflect the show's critique of these topics. Homer is an everyman character who embodies the flaws and imperfections that many people can identify with. His struggles with work, family, and self-control are relatable to a broad audience, making him a character viewers can empathize with. Dan Castellaneta's voice role for him is just what an airhead father always says and is pretty good. Homer's interactions with his wife Marge and their 3 children, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie, provide rich material for exploring family dynamics and relationships. His flawed yet heartfelt attempts at being a good father and husband create touching and relatable storylines. Homer can be placed in a variety of situations and settings, allowing for diverse storylines and comedic scenarios. Whether he's embarking on a space mission, becoming a food critic, or joining a barbershop quartet, Homer's adaptability contributes to his longevity. His running gag of strangling Bart, despite being hilarious and one of the most recognizable gags on the show, has now completely stopped as of season 31, showing that Homer is actually trying to improve himself as a person and a father. As for now, he was an employee lesser than 200 jobs, making him the most worked animated character from different jobs in history. He managed to recover from flanderization starting with season 31, reverting back to the character we all know and love again. Overall, Homer Simpson is a great character because of his complexity, relatability, humor, cultural significance, and enduring popularity. He represents the quintessential flawed but lovable everyman, making him a character that continues to resonate with audiences around the world. Number 2. Marge Simpson. She was shown to be trusting and loving wife to Homer and mother of Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. She slaves over her family and cleans up their mess, making her quite unappreciated. She cares a lot about her family, and even shown compassion for her dim-witted but fun-loving husband, loving him just the way he is. She would go to drastic measures just to protect the people she loves. Like Ned Flanders, she just casually enjoys going to church. She is wonderfully animated like most of the other Simpsons characters. She has very high morals. She is a great design and a kind personality. She is needed by everyone in order to sustain stability. It was once even stated that Springfield would fall to bits without her. In fact, she is so attractive that she has attracted many men in Springfield, such as Moe, Mr. Burns, and her high school classmate. She is considered to be a dude magnet since a majority of male characters tend to lust over her. Although she was unlucky flanderized between seasons 16-30, she, along with her son Bart, were never flanderized during the show's decline throughout seasons 11, 15 and in season 31, and still kept their original personas during those seasons. Her voice is pretty much more tolerable than Patty and Selma's voices. Her backstories with Homer and other episodes featuring Homer and Marge's past on how they met before they got married are very touching and sweet. Number 3. Bart Simpson. Bart is one of the most iconic kid characters in adult animation, especially being popular in the early 1990s. Even at a young age, Bart has accomplished many feats. He has won an award for his Angry Dad web series, he has discovered a new comet which was named after himself, and he also has performed in a successful band with Milhouse Van Houten, Nelson Muntz and Ralph Wim. He is the most misunderstood of the family, after Maggie, who currently can only speak a few words, constantly frustrated by the narrow-minded people of Springfield, who judge him merely by his thoughts and actions. Despite his behavior, Bart is also extremely good at science, art and even sports like skateboarding. His actions and speech frequently show considerable mental agility, street smarts, and understanding. His antics are funny at times, especially his prank calls to Must Tavern where he tricks the owner Mos Eisley into calling out names which are puns of something funny, which Mo then threatens him despite not knowing who he is, which often made the customer's day. Although he got flanderized during seasons 16-30, he, along with his mom Marge, were never flanderized during the show's decline throughout seasons 11, 15 and in season 31, and still kept their original personas during those seasons. Although he gets into trouble and is sometimes shallow and selfish, Bart also exhibits many qualities of high integrity. Testing. He is a great friend to Milhouse Van Houten, Nelson Muntz and Ralph Wim, despite treating the latter more like an weird acquaintance than a friend. He even shows friendship with Seymour Skinner and Edna Krabappel, despite the fact he often terrorizes them, helping them with their love life. along with being the only one in the entire town of Springfield to support them and stand by their side when an angry mob was against them. He is an amazing brother to Lisa. While he loves teasing her, Bart has shown himself willing to put himself through labor, swallow his pride, and even purchase things for her, as when trying to make her feel better. He offered to make her bed, start a foundation for the animals she saved, and even spend money on a $500 record instead of a long-desired novelty. Bart has even sacrificed a dream job, hall monitor, and good grades to protect her from a damaging punishment caused by her own actions and helped her restore her reputation among the other children when she betrayed them by way of posing as a college student. For fans, he is considered the true main protagonist of the series since the beginning, especially in the following seasons. A memorable music video titled Do the Bartman was why we love Bart. As shown in Barthood, here is a reason to be bad, due to his treatment by Homer. Number 4. Lisa Simpson. While the middle child, Lisa is the nicest, mature and well-behaved child of the Simpson family and hardly causes trouble for her family and friends. She has an adorable and great character design. She is the smartest and the most intelligent child of the family with an IQ of 159, which makes her as a high-ranking member of Springfield. Like her mother Marge, Lisa is portrayed as level-headed, where she would become the voice of reason for her family and the community in Springfield. She has a loving interest in jazz music and practices playing her saxophone on a regular basis. Her passion for music was nurtured by her relationship with the late Bleeding Gums Murphy after meeting him and moaning Lisa while she was suffering from depression, and learns about expressing herself through music. Even after his passing, Lisa still looks up to him. Lisa truly cares about her family a lot, even when she gets annoyed by their actions and behavior. Despite being annoyed with Homer's stupidity and occasionally getting into arguments with him, Lisa truly cares for her father. Regardless of getting in brawls with her older brother Bart, Lisa still looks out for him and is willing to help him. An example of this occurs in the Season 2 episode Dead Putting Society, where she takes the role as Bart's mentor and a Zen master, respectively, teaching Bart how to achieve a low par after examining the golf course to be based on simple geometry and how to meditate. Her voice actress Yeardley Smith does an amazing job voicing her. Number 5. Mr. Burns. Alongside Sideshow Bob, he is one of the most entertaining villains from the show for how over-the-top, hammy, sadistic, scheming, narcissistic, psychopathic, power-hungry and diabolical he is, all in the best way possible, in the sense you love to hate how much of a conniving scumbag he is, and in a very enjoyable and hilarious way. It's not helping that he's a classical stereotype of a mean office boss. In fact, he's so evil, he fired Smithers twice, the only man who usually sucks up to Mr. Burns, and someone Mr. Burns showed some kindness towards, for being insufficiently toadyish. There's a deep and explained meaning for why Mr. Burns needs to be evil. Mr. Burns has to be a villain because he can literally die if he is actually nice to someone, due to how much his wrath and hatred will keep him alive, which makes sense for why he always has to be a villain. He can best be described as a selfish, malicious, spoiled child with the brain and the body of an old man, which makes him all the more comedic. He is a very cunning and underhanded villain. Despite being senile, he's still an intelligent businessman whose evil ways of getting ahead involve how manipulative and unscrupulous he is, such as being directly responsible for driving Mona away by identifying her during a hippie protest while forcing her to abandon Homer, also getting her falsely arrested by the FBI for multiple fake names of the visitor books with theme parks. The way he gets easily infuriated by the idiots he has working for him, especially Homer, is hilarious to see. It's even funnier how he forgets Homer's name so much. Despite being malicious and megalomaniacal, he does have some good intents, like starting a recycling business while making a recycled sea life set into a slurry. He is always given a consequence for his misdeeds, which only makes it more hilarious to see. Despite his evil nature, he is able to shed a sense of kindness, even if it was acted out, as he sympathized over Homer's loss of his new hair, as everyone in the plant only took Homer for granted because of his hairstyle. Christopher Collins did a very amazing job at voicing him. giving Mr. Burns' iconic light yet exaggeratedly calm tone of voice. Number 6. Ralph Wim. Just like Billy, Brack, and Stimpy, his stupidity is very charming and hilarious. His silliness can also be quite endearing at the same time. He has a lot of funny quotes, such as, "My cat's breath smells like cat food. I'm a brick. I'm a unitard. Go banana. Haha, I'm in danger." Hi Super Nintendo charmers. May fail English, that's impossible. Considering that he is known for saying many non-sequiturs, they were always done hilariously. Nancy Cartwright did a great job with voicing him. He is an amazing friend to Lisa, Bart, Milhouse, Martin and even Nelson, despite them always ignoring him and treating him more like a weird acquaintance than a friend. He's a kid that is almost seen with a smile on his face, even during dire situations, and is one of the most genuinely innocent characters. In contrast with his father, Chief Clancy Wim, who is an adult and rather corrupt. Despite being hilariously dumb, Ralph has a wild imagination and does show talent by being an amazingly talented actor. I love Lisa, tap dancer, last tap dance in Springfield, and nose flutist, round Springfield, and despite being a dim-witted comic relief type of character, he has shown some awesome, badass moments in the series. Examples of this include the episode Flanders Ladder. He becomes the evil king of the world, and reigns until the age of 120, only after being killed by his equally ditzy son, and outlives most of the main cast. And episodes such as E. Pluribus Swim showed that Ralph still had a smart side, as he wanted to run for US president because he wanted to bring about world peace. Another example of this is numerous scenes have been dropped throughout various Simpsons-centric media, from the comic to the series itself, but he's possibly creatively gifted. In the episode This Little Wiggy, where Ralph was too scared to enter the abandoned prison until the bullies steal the police master key and throw it in, Ralph ignores his fear and enters the prison to get the key, in which Bart congratulated him on it. At the end of the episode This Little Wiggy, Bart, Homer and Marge congratulate Ralph for saving the day, even though it was Lisa's plan. Lisa goes along with it after Bart says, "Come on, let him have this one, Les." After all, it's Ralph. Even when Ralph does something that's foolish or ridiculous, it'll still come off as hilarious. Haha, I'm in danger. Number 7. Ned Flanders. Ned is very honest, kind and sincere in carrying out the Christian doctrines of charity, kindness and compassion to an extent unseen within the rest of the Springfield community. He is frequently shown doing volunteer work, and is rigorously honest and upright, even going so far as to spend an entire day tracking down a Leftorium customer in order to give him the extra change that he had forgotten to hand over. He once donated a kidney and a lung out of the goodness of his heart to whoever needs them first. He is also a good neighbor to the Simpsons, regularly offering his assistance. Ned's dogged friendship inspires the loyalty of others. When his Leftorium appeared on the verge of bankruptcy shortly after it opened, Homer arranged a George Bailey-esque bailout with the help of many people in Springfield. In more recent episodes, he seems to have gained more tolerance to other religions and homosexuality, as long as the people in question are good-natured. However, his bias and perspective still make him think that they will have a harder time getting to heaven. His iconic catchphrase "Hi diddly ho" never gets old. Ned is also against drugs. When Ned, Homer and Dapper go on road trip to Canada for cheap prescription drugs, they meet a man who looks and acts just like Ned. The man then offers Ned marijuana. "Hey, would you like to puff on a reeferino? It's legal here," but he promptly turns down. "They warned me Satan would be attractive. Let's go." He did, however, briefly smoke a cigarette when playing the role of Mad Dog during his fire safety skit with some disgust. Ned is not without facing life's challenges, but has been shown to frequently call Reverend Lovejoy for advice, often, even over minuscule and petty things. I think I'm coveting my own wife, to the point that Lovejoy has stopped caring and has even suggested that Flanders try a different religion. In addition, his modesty was such that he even goes as far as to bathe in swimming trunks specifically to avoid having to avoid anyone, even himself, see his privates. as he admits when Marge and Homer have him babysit Maggie once when they talk to him as he's bathing. In the Simpsons movie, Ned was a very caring and good father figure to Bart, even treating him like another part of the family. He also was one of the organizers of a mob to remove the La Maison Derry A tilde diaresis re due to the immoral exploitation of the sexual desires in males, although he notably had to ask for permission to commence a mob to Belle, the owner of the place they were attempting to tear down in a mob frenzy, indicating that he either wasn't completely aware of how a mob was supposed to work or was unwilling to go to the extreme of inciting a mob riot to get rid of the house. Harry Shearer does a pretty good job voicing him. He has massively recovered from Flanderization starting from the Simpsons movie and in season 32. Number 8. Mr. Bergstrom. He is a great substitute teacher since he has knowledge on many subjects. He cares deeply about his students, even rejecting romantic relationships. He helps Lisa reconcile with his father, and cheers her up when she learns he is leaving. He is not only a great teacher, but a great person, as he is shown to have talked to some of the people in his temporary apartment. He even visits Lisa's house in a later episode. The kid is alright, and puts hot butter on her vegetables, showing that he did not forget Lisa. He also does not take offense, since he was not offended by a picture drawn of him called a singing dork, and instead complimented the picture. He also told the kids they could make fun of his name and gave some suggestions on how to do so. Number 9. Superintendent Gary Chalmers. He is easily the sanest character in the whole series. Hank Azaria did a spectacular job voicing him. He serves as a foil to Principal Skinner by noticing his shenanigans. Unlike other characters, he hasn't been Flanderized. He hilariously yells Skinner at the top of his lungs as his catchphrase. Catchy quotes, such as "Good Lord, what is happening in there?" Let's also not forget about the movies. They have their own theatrical movies from 20th Century Fox, 20th Century Fox Animation, and Gracie Films. The Simpsons movie from 2007. That movie was one of the best movies of 2007. The Longest Taker from 2012, and Playdate with Destiny from 2020. That movie also streamed on Disney+. Let's also not forget that they also have their own ride at Universal Studios. Awesome. Not only that, they also have their own video games. The Simpsons video game from 1991. The Simpsons Bart vs. the Space Mutants also from 1991. The Simpsons Road Rage from 2001. The Simpsons Hit and Run from 2003, and The Simpsons Game from 2007. Despite that, James Rolfe, also known as the Angry Video Game Nerd, did a review on The Simpsons video game from 1991. The Simpsons Bart vs. the Space Mutants also from 1991, and he hated it. But hey, everyone have different opinions. This show gets a 10 out of 10. That show is one of the greatest shows ever existed on Fox. This concludes this review.